Hello. Hey Yasin, how are you doing? How is everything? It's really early in the morning, can't sleep, so I decided to just make a live stream. And we are going to make a building like this and see how things go. I have a bunch of reference images that we're going to be getting from. Yeah, so let's get to it. I think it's going to be a bit chill. I won't be talking too much unless you have any questions that you have. So I think we can start with just blocking out the building. It's a very simple one. I think can Hello Rizo, how are you doing? And welcome to the stream. I think what we can do is do everything in a kind of modular way instead of just making everything at once. Or we could make everything at once. I don't know which approach is better, but let's start with the easy things. I like adding in these, and I usually like to work as I'm looking at the materials. I'm going to use my asset library for the materials. I'm not going to create them from scratch, so I have brick wall textures already prepared, so this stream doesn't become too long. If I can find that, let me try this red brick. Okay, this is a bit too red. Might have to adjust the materials a bit. Okay, that's not the material I want. Maybe we can create the material from scratch this time around. Let me get rid of this. Let me know if you like the music and if the audio is fine and everything else. I have this break here. Just going to smart unwrap this again. I'm still experimenting with the best time to stream, so you can see that yeah, playing around with different times. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is around, okay, maybe this is a bit too small. I think the scale is about there. Eddie, how are you doing? If often when I search tutorials, you go live next day making the same thing I search for. Maybe I'm reading your mind, you never know. Because I'm very good at that. I just don't want to make it too public, because it might attract a lot of attention. I don't want to be experimented on. But yeah. See, have some nice roughness there. And to control it even further, you can add a mix RGB. Now you have control of the overall roughness here. Can add in some bump. I like this song. It goes with the flow. Stay safe, brother. Yeah, I know, I should be. Because I don't want to have my brains extracted for experimentation, you know. I see the problem with adding bump maps is that sometimes you get a lot of noisy details like that. So what I usually like to do is add a car ramp like that. And that helps me with the controlling the contrast. Just get rid of some of those noise details. And can invert even this. And I see we get some nice details. Something like that. And sometimes you might also want to change the color of the brick a little bit. So what you could do is just add a mix node like that. And change this to color or overlay, but color usually does a good job. And you can play with the color. You can see you can make it a little bit more reddish, around something like that. Now we can add in these I think side bricks here. And do that, you can just add a block like that, like this. Let me turn on some ambient occlusion here. Give it a factor of 2 like that. Go top mode, think around that. We can give it the same material, apply the scale to have the same scale, but this doesn't really have that brick detail. So what we could do is separate the material and just get rid of this base color. Then give it whatever color we want. I think it's around that. Oh, we can just use this, but instead of mix of color, we can use mix. So we get a little bit of detail somewhere like that. Oh, better yet, we could just switch this image to something, to a different material, maybe a more concrete like material. Have something like that. Give this a nice bevel. Auto smooth and then harden. So we have something like that. And I think we could also use an array. To add in those. I think I live 16 miles from there. From where exactly, Eddie? Let's drag this up, maybe adding a little bit of space like that. And we have something like that. Waverly Diner. Oh, from this. Nice. Huh. Amazing, amazing. Hey, Bobby Y. Hello, Paulis Asamo. How are you doing? We can mirror this on the... let me see. Do we... So, Eddie, does it look as good as it looks here? Because... yeah, okay. Now let's add in, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 windows. We can start by creating one window, or one window. These are nearly the height of doors, I think. I'm going to use a boolean here. Viewport display, wireframe. The bump is very good, yes, and so are the bricks. Ah, thank you. Okay, let's get this, add a boolean, select this as the boolean. This is going to give us a nice cutout for the windows. Now we think we need to space them a bit, and we can add another array like so, and another one on the Z. So we have 1, 2, 3, yeah, something like that. Just need to space them a little bit, like so. Now that's great. So let's work on these here, on the windows themselves. So they don't look that super complicated. So I'm just going to duplicate these, just get rid of these. And, let me isolate this for a second, turn off my modifiers for a second as well. And I think it should use the same material as these, so materials. And we could use a mirror on this as well. Oh, so it's kind of... yeah. Something like this. Top channel one-on-one, what's going on? That's Paulius Samoa. Well, we're just making this building and playing some chill music as we're doing this. It's a bit early in the morning, so you won't hear me talk too much or shout as usual. But we're just creating this building here. Have our window like so. Now you can see this one has a few extra details, so we can add those as well. I think I'm just going to use a mirror modifier to make my life a bit easier. And we also have these nice details in here. Can add a loop here So what time is it for you guys out there? I know most of you are from a different time zone. Is it morning? Is it evening? What time is it? 11:42. For me, will you use glass or glossy node? I have how is it called? Non-refractive glass material. That's what I'll be using. And I don't think you definitely... We could even get away with using just a simple metallic surface instead of using glass. Especially since glass takes a while to render. So there are several ways we can approach this. Ghana 343. Oh, Ghana is on the west side. Nice. Oh, true. 11:45. Nice. So Bobby and Eddie, it seems you are in the same time zone, huh? Because I see you are there's only a difference of like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. 3 minutes between you. Atlanta. Nice. Nice. Bronx. Okay, so if you are in Atlanta, then it doesn't seem like maybe you are in the same time zone, because Atlanta is where? That's Georgia, is right? I think that's in Georgia, so you would be in the same. Let me see. You would be. Yeah, I think you would be in the same timeline or the same, yeah, Eastern Standard Time Zone. Yeah, I think that's what New York uses as well. So, you have to respect the US, man. I know more about the US than I actually know about my country, which is kind of sad, but the entire internet is almost the US, so it's not that surprising. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, almost everything is the US, so it becomes much easier to know about the US than and since I barely leave my house, yeah, and I spend most of my time on the internet. And you know more about America than the average American. Yeah, probably, yeah. It's very, very interesting. I think I can even name more American states than the average American. Actually, here in my country we use districts, but I can barely name 10. But I think I can name more than 20 American states. That's going to be our detail there. What is your country? I'm in Uganda. That's in East Africa. Let me see if I can give you a map of that. Uganda, that is in East Africa. Let me see. Yeah, so we neighbor Kenya, Tanzania, Sudan. So if this is the map, this is where we are. So we are like, I don't know, a few light years away from you in distance. You need gold, Jeopardy. Is that the Jeopardy show? I don't really know what you mean. I think that's a US reference that I'm not very familiar with. Oh yeah, then you beat them by a mile. I remember of a show called Jeopardy. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to, but where I think they ask you questions about different stuff. Yeah, I think I could win that if I'm against the average US citizen. If we are being asked about the US. Your country's huge, full of natural resources and people. Yeah, it is. It is, but like most countries, yeah, you guessed it. A lot of corruption and other things kind of hinder some of the advantages we have. But thank God for the internet. It's kind of at least giving us some advantage as well. We don't really have to rely on the resources of the country or the limitations of the country, and now you can start your own journey without really being your future being dependent on the politicians here. You can make your own journey and kind of create your own success using the internet, which is exactly what I'm trying to do here. So my entire income is not anywhere based on the stupidity of our politicians. So that's I guess a great thing. Ever heard of Jumia? Yes, I do. Yeah, we actually have it here. But yeah, so I think it's listed on the. Is it the Nasdaq? Is it listed on the New York Stock Exchange or the Nasdaq? It's listed on one of those stock exchanges. It's popular here, but I don't use it because it's littered with a lot of scammers. I use something called Gigi. It's like what is it called? It's similar to Craigslist, but local here. Let me go to models. Yeah, my folders are okay. August 2021 August. Okay. Building. Yeah, I said my income is not based on stupid politicians here, but I guess I'm kind of a bit wrong about that because when we had an election here and the government decided to block Facebook because Facebook blocked some of the government I think pages, which is fair. I mean, an eye for an eye, but that kind of shows that my income is not really independent of politicians, so they can block anything. But I guess if they do, I can move to a different country quite easily, since again most of my income is not really based on the country, so I can easily move maybe to Kenya Since we don't require a visa to go there, it can be a bit easier. Yeah, let's see. We could make this window. Now remember, we have already set up our arrays, and they should be below the mirror modifier. We also need to adjust a few things. So, are you guys students or are you like working in a professional sector? And is it related to Blender or something? Okay, we have that. Now let's create these windows here. Still going to use this. We have an inside frame. Asamal Saim, I watched one of your previous live shows and I created a nice environment. Where can I send it to you? Are you on Instagram? I am on Instagram, but I rarely use it for Blender things. Actually, let me use this to set up my Discord. So I have a Discord, but I'm rarely active on that. So let me set up a link. 12th grade. Okay, so you're Cool Blue. How are you doing? So which country is that? Is that the US or? Yeah, I think it's the US. This is where they use grades. So my Discord. Let me see if I can get an invite. I can create an invite. I barely use Discord, so I'm not very familiar how it works either. So hopefully I don't show anything I shouldn't be showing here. Okay, let's see. I think you can just I need to create a Discord channel. The server, create my own community top channel 1 on server. Got it. Invite people, and here is the link. Now let me save this somewhere before I lose it, because I've done that before and I think I've lost it. I only work for now, self-employed. So Eddie, what do you do? So here is the invitation to anyone who wants to join, and you can share your work directly there. I use Blender as my main 3D application, as a filmmaker, producer, designer, illustrator, you name it. Nice. And is it going well for you, Bobby? Okay, let's create this window. Can start. Just going to borrow an edge. Let me just get this edge here. Just get it like that. Extrude it like so. Now we're just going to assign it a different material, so new material. And I don't know, was it Eddie or Saim who asked whether we're going to use glass? We're just going to use a metal surface. Actually, I'm not really sure if this is going to, but we can then add, let's see, a texture. You can add a Grunge Map. Break down this roughness a bit. Yes, UV unwrap it. And because this object is mirrored, you see we get some mirror effect that I don't want. So we can just do a Control T and change this from UV to object, and that should get rid of the mirror effect. And we should have this set to box. Now we can also create a new texture and find a different can find different material. Now I think this image here would work really great. Just going to make sure this is set to flat. And what we can do, I can apply this mirror because I want to just use this. Let me first switch to the UV editor here. And I want this to get all the details, the corner details. I want the window to look a bit dirty. So we can use this as the base color. And actually, instead of using the metonens, let's use glass, which means we can use the transmission, set that to 1, go to blending mode, turn off shadows. I've been using Blender for about 2.5 years, just getting a good hangover, and I am on the Mac and I'm left-handed, but yes, love it. You're using a Mac and you're left-handed. Yeah, that's a nice combination there. God, left-handed. So how are you using the numpad? Because Blender uses the numpad quite a lot when you're going up, right? Maybe actually I rarely use it as I can just navigate around. But if you're just getting started, the numpad is usually great for switching between different views. So maybe you could just use, I think, these, because Blender is really set up for right-handed people. Why is this still metallic? Let me turn on screen space refractions. Instead of using transmission, which is a bit computational heavy, you can even try using the alpha. I'll bring that a little bit down and just make sure that your reflections are a bit strong. So if I add a color mix RGB, I also use Mac. So I've tried using Mac, but I always find it a bit limited, especially if you're just going to use it for other things. But I guess because I'm so much used to Windows, it's kind of, I've got into the habit of just using Windows. So let me keep this transmission to 1. Something like that. And I want to show that here, but because I'm using the alpha here, it's becoming a bit difficult to see that. So what I can do is, where is my dot? This is the dot. I can add a color ramp. Can use a color ramp here to control the contrast, like that. But the black areas are going to be transparent, so I need to invert this using the color invert. But when you use an invert, it usually reduces the contrast. So I would have to maybe just switch this around so that the car ramp is on this side, and then make this. You see, if you invert, then you introduce a lot of artifacts when you're using the contrast here. So I think we can use a math node with the operation of power, and that should give us the contrast without losing a lot of detail. See, it's much okay, something. Yeah, so the white areas are going to be non-transparent, so then we can use this as the alpha and the transmission as well. But we have lost all the reflections here because remember, white areas are transparent. So I'm just going to use, I think, a root node here, and then add a mix node. Use this as a factor, and what this will enable me to do is to control the different transparency. So I can make this transparent, give it some transparency, and make this dark. So you see, we get that dot there. Now we still have control over the windows. You can see we're making them a bit dirty. The other thing we can do is usually dot areas are more rough. Blender's designed for Windows PC and not is designed for Windows PC and not for Mac. Is a good program for artists. Blender's designed for Windows is designed. Okay, I really don't. Yeah, kind of struggling with what you're meaning there. I think you mean that Blender is designed for PCs. Yeah, I think so. Most 3D programs are catered for 3D artists, for Windows users, because yeah, a lot of software is first developed for Windows and then converted to other programs. I think at least that's what I think. Again, we can use this here, use this here. Now this is going to help us control the contrast or the roughness of these places here. Let me see what kind of roughness I'm using here. Oh. And now I can just reduce the factor. Yeah, that's going to be our window, but it's inside a frame. So I'm just going to go into edit mode, Shift D, duplicate that, create a new material, assign that material to it. And let me first isolate this for a second. And just going to make the frame. What do you think of geometry nodes? And maybe would you use that to replicate the windows? Geometry nodes is an interesting new feature. It's going to be definitely going to be a very, very powerful feature, but as of right now, it's still in its early stages and kind of limited. So if I was to create these windows and replicate them here, it would be very easy after I set up the nodes, but setting the nodes up can take a while, and you need a lot of knowledge how to do that. You need a lot of technical knowledge. So right now, geometry node is mostly being used by technical artists who kind of know their way with math and things like that. So it's not really catered for artists as artists who just want to dive in and use the tools to create an art piece. But right now, geometry nodes in its current state is more for technical directors. That's the best explanation I can get. People who want to dive into the technical aspect of the create. I don't know how to word this, but basically, geometry node in its state right now is more for, let's say, for mathematicians than artists, because you're going to spend most of your time experimenting with the tool than creating anything. So it's still in its early stages, and hopefully that changes soon. So this is going to be our window. This part here. Caught up on any Marvel movies or shows on Disney? WandaVision, Loki. I think I've watched all the Marvel movies and series. I've watched WandaVision. I think that was the best series of what I've watched so far. I liked Loki, but yeah, it was nothing to write about, I guess, in my opinion. But I think most people enjoyed Loki. But I liked WandaVision more because the style was quite unique, and that was actually very surprising that they made it work. For me, there was nothing that unique about Loki. It was it was the boy meets girl kind of story. Boy falls in love with girl, and then they save the world, something like that. But it was fun to watch as well. So I wish to make Miss Minutes, and WandaVision was top tier. Yeah, actually, I could also maybe have an attempt at making Miss Minutes. Was a fun character. Okay, our windows seem to be a bit large in scale, so I'm just going to scale them down. Okay, that looks a bit better. And I think these frames should be a little bit thick. I love the array. Yeah, it's a very, very intuitive feature. Can be used to create a lot of detail. And actually, this glass here should have two glasses like that. Okay, think that's going to be our window. Then maybe we can add in a few extra details. And now what I usually do is add this to my asset library so that I don't have to recreate that window again either. So window, add that. Actually, this is supposed to be window. Add that to my Windows collection. Give it a quick render, maybe without the arrays from this angle. Save it to my library, and then I can use it anytime I want. That's the asset library. Yeah, so what else can we do? I know we are being a bit slow, but yeah. Let's create this. We need to add more windows. This top thing here, we could just reuse this, or since I have a few sailing of these, I can just reuse these as well. So let me find something more interesting, something like I think this would work. This Cornice detail could be great. I have I have sent the project. Check it out. Okay, let me go to the Discord. Where did I have that? Oh, nice, nice, nice. I like the color selection you're using. It just adds a nice feel. Yeah. So I think you're using cycles here to render this, or Eevee, because I'm seeing some bounce lighting from these emission lights that Eevee doesn't do. Yeah. So this is cycles. Nice, nice, nice. Though the card does need a little bit of detail, but everything looks great. That's amazing. New illustration for client. What is this exactly? Because it looks amazing. I mean, I can't draw at all, so this is just impressive. And God, it just looks very, very interesting. I can't tell what exactly it is. A brewing. Oh, is this a brewing ad? But it looks very, very good. Just amazing. Amazing. If you have any works you want to share, you could share here, I guess. Just going to make sure that this is pinned somewhere so that people can share their work. So let's add in this Cornice here. Again, you can create it in the same way I created this one, or use curves. I just don't want to repeat doing the same things that I've already done. So yeah, it saves a lot of time reusing work, reusing things you have already done. So this is going to be our Cornice. Just I think it should be around here. It's High Card Brewery. It's gonna be a board game. That's a card game. Oh, so this is going to be at the back side. Oh, card. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, I get it. So like the side that is very identical to everything else. Nice. Nice. And you're being super accurate. I'm seeing this. You're using a lure here. So this is the color. You're starting to add in colors here. Is this the same thing here? Man, mad respect. This is I could never do this. I don't even know how to start this. Let's see. Bobby, you're saying yes? So it's going to be the I don't know, would that be the front? So the face that the opponent sees when you are holding up the cards. Nice. Interesting. I like how this community is so diverse in the type of work everyone does. We are all 3D artists, but we also do other things. I do some programming at the side. Sometimes also do web design. So we have people from a lot of different fields, which is amazing. So, Bobby, have you done any work we can see? Any final work that is available on YouTube that we can see, or anywhere else? because I understand that is still work in progress. And your client allows you to show it on the internet. I don't want to get you in trouble, something like that. Okay, so this should be something like this. I think this is going to have to be scaled up like so. I'm just going to get rid of this back face. Oh, just let me first work with this here. That is gonna be the cover artwork for the box set in video cards based on all original work. Oh, nice. And congratulations on landing a client, man. It's one of the things most artists struggle with, especially. I don't know how experienced you are, and but yeah, if you're able to get client work, that's the best feeling, man. I also used to do client work, but I got overwhelmed with a lot of things that I'm handling. I have to do YouTube. I have to do other things. I'm also getting into construction nowadays, so it can be overwhelming, but yeah, good for you, man. Good for you. Okay, this seems to have quite a lot of detail. I think we need to extend this a bit down, and then have that there, and then we can grab a face. Hello, Rashikesh Munde. How are you doing? I sent my render of New York building. Oh, let me check that out. Nice, nice, nice. God, this is quite detailed. I see fridges, some groceries. Nice, nice. So you're using an orthographic camera, no perspective. Nice. Nice. Like the small details in there. Delhi. Yeah, you could share some of your work, like what Bobby has done, your station, Twitter. This is quite detailed. Is this because I think I remember doing a story about Captain America's shield. Is it from that? It looks amazing. It looks quite detailed, like the scratches in there. So I want to mirror this on this side, and I don't want to repeat creating the same detail. So a quick way to mirror objects, like on the kind of have a rotated mirror, is you can simply add an empty object like this, have it somewhere like that, and I use that empty as the mirror object. So let me see, this is what we have, like that. I just need to create a new mirror. Where is that? Like this, and use the empty as the mirror object. And if I rotate this empty, you can see I'm also rotating this. So you only have to rotate it by 45 degrees, and it should give you that. We still have a gap here. To fix that, you can do a bisect. You can see it will, let me show you. This is how everything was. Things were going through each other. If you turn on bisect, just cut that off, and I can move this in, and you will get that nice. Yeah. So just going to move this to the corner somewhere like that. I will get a nice detail. And we'll just extend this part. Please share the Discord link so I can share my image. Having some issues. Oh, let me get that. Where is God? You guys are surprising me with your work. Look at this. Nice. So the Discord is, let me, where do I get that? Do I get the link from here? Copy. So that's the Discord. Nice. How are you getting these reflections in Eevee? They're kind of super good. Do you have a, is it called a reflection, this thing here? And a light probe, a reflection plane, because I don't see it here, and you're capturing some nice reflections. Or are you, or is this cycles? because if it doesn't produce this kind of I think this is cycles, because I'm also seeing that the reflection, the lighting. Yeah, this is quite interesting. Yeah, it's quite nice. Just going to extend. It's going to mirror this. Please check message on Discord. Is that a private message, or because if it's a private message, let me see. Atek, how can I make my model more realistic and set angle of camera in a good way? How can you make your model realistic? Look at this. This looks quite great. This is really professional, man. Just look at the colors there. Nice. How can you make this more realistic? I think you can use some bit of texturing. There is a difference in style. Your background looks super realistic, but this looks more stylized. So you can work on the background a bit to make it match the same style that you're using here. And again, the texturing. And, yeah, this is a good start. Some more. This looks nice. What I'm looking at is this looks a bit different from this. The kind of quality. I don't know if maybe not exactly the quality, but so this looks like someone who's very, very good, like really, really good. This is, I don't know, maybe you didn't spend maybe you're going for something, for a different style. This looks super great. Yeah, great stuff, great stuff. Yeah, so we're just missing a piece here. I'm just going to duplicate this, get rid of this mirror. Oh, get rid of this mirror. Rotate this 90 degrees, and I just bring this piece, read this 180 degrees, have this piece in here like that. And I think we are almost getting there. Just need a few windows on this side, which can be easily done by just duplicating this. I need to duplicate both the window and the boolean. Is easy emission shader on a reflection surface. Okay. It came out really nice. Oh, I think I'm using NVIDIA Origins here, but should be Shift D, rotate, negative 90. Grab this. Yeah, so we have and this needs a new boolean for that. And this is going to use another array for the y. You know what? I don't even think we need this boolean. These windows look fine without it. And I guess we can also get rid of these. Maybe not. Or just bring them a tiny bit in front like that. I have sent my model link on Discord. Trying to learn the architecture view and realistic render, especially interior scene. Let me check that. So okay, this is architecture. Yeah, you can share your works so people can see what you've done. Nice, nice. This look very, very nice. Look at this guy. Look at this supermodel with his bag. Yeah, look at this. This is amazing detail. Did you model this? Looks super great. And the water here, the splash effect here. Did you simulate this, or did you? I think you had to kind of sculpt this instead of simulating this, because this is kind of hard to make this, simulate this, and come up, make the water, the water do this. You need a really high resolution simulation to come up with, to kind of do this. So I think maybe, did you do that? Fisher Puncher's challenge. Yeah, I watched the live stream. I didn't watch the entire thing, but yeah, I watched some of it, and that stuff was amazing, quite amazing. This is some amazing work. Quality stuff. Look at this. This is good. You may even mistake it for something realistic, something taken by a real camera. How you must have a really good computer to handle this amount of polygon. It looks great. Look at that. A nice city. Nice. Yeah, it's very hard to create a powder effect here, but this came out really nice, looking nice. Fish in the text. Fish is the texture, and water is just duplicate of drop, no simulation. Yeah, because I figured that, because simulations are really hard to do in Blender. If you're using something like RealFlow, it might be a bit easier, but Blender is really kind of limited in how much you can control the fluids. So yeah, but everything looks nice. Just extend this a bit up like this. Get this, push it up. Okay, I think this looks good. Let's see, what else can we do? We can create this lower floor or the shops. Just going to do this, duplicate this. So this is going to be our lower floor. And since we already have this material, let's just use that. Maybe tweak it a bit to make it more brighter. Yeah, to have the same color effect like that. We could use a texture for these bricks, but I think what we're going to do is just create the details directly in. Something like that. Maybe that's a bit too deep. Something like that. Now we can start making room for windows, doors, and everything like that. Okay, maybe this needs to be a bit taller. So we can have a large window here and then a smaller one. So for this, we're going to use a boolean like so. That's going to be our window. Now we have done most of the work here, so let's just reuse that. Except we don't need an array. See how the dot came up here? I think it looks nice. Yes. Grab everything on this side. Pull it all the way here. Get this, pull it down. Now this texturing we need to use. Okay, it's a bit. This window doesn't have to be repeated like that. It's can get rid of. Actually, we just need to get rid of this and this. Let's see. think the window should be a bit bigger than this, so now we need another wall, another boolean here. I'm just going to rotate this. So it can be placed on here. Okay, I think we need another boolean for this part here. It's going to add a cube, make it have the same rotation. Yes, so something like that. Wireframe boolean Okay, another thing I've noticed is that these windows don't really have I don't have these cornices, so let me see if we get rid of those. Maybe also get rid of, if we change this to this material, you'll get something like that. And then we just need a door. Just get rid of this as well. You can also add in a door on the inside, but I have a few doors already, so I'm not going to create them from scratch. I think they're in my city park windows. No. Furniture doors. I could just add in this. think this handle is a bit too large. This boxing social media, very nice. Only one room right now. I'm only on a room right now. You could share some of your work and we can see some of what you have done. Let me increase the ambient occlusion factor by 3. Let's see, 1. Okay. Everything else that is left is decorating. So let's just create a surface here for our ground surface. And then let's also give it the same curve like that. I think I have some floor materials that could work well for the ground surface. I think I just need to go to my city park. Let's try this. Try this. Just have to scale it a bit. Okay, this is where the quick decals add-on comes in handy, and it's already up. If you are a patron, you can get it. Let me show you how it works just a bit here. So if I wanted to detail this without doing too much work, maybe add in some rain damage to this surface. So let's say we want to add in some rain damage here. I could just load in, let me see, details, I think under my decals. Decals. Can find some rain damage of the wall. Let's see something like this here. Accept, select other wall, add that in. Just have to reorient it, and you can see gives us some nice detail, and I can control how this looks. Maybe there. Let's switch this out at something else and see resources. Let's try this here. You can see we can break up the material just a bit. And we can even bring it just a tiny bit. Now the reflection is a bit too perfect. So using this here. Again, if you're a Patreon, you can get this from the Patreon page. This add-on from the Patreon page. I just made it. It's still being approved on the Blender market, so I'll have it there soon as well. Let's see. I want to play with the roughness here. So I can load in a roughness or a Grunge Map texture here, something like this, and that should help me break up the surface just a bit. So this can come up as a, say, maybe some of this wall was not exposed brick, and now it is. Now we can also do it on some places here. So for example here, I can add another decal. I think this is a great one to reuse. Or I could just duplicate this, Shift D, rotate 180. Maybe just make it a bit small. But I don't like how the contrast of this, so I'm just going to change this to a different mask or a different texture. So let's find something that might look better here. Maybe something like this here. Actually, we need to go to this here. Resources, walls. Let's use which one was it? This here. I think this this could be used on this wall here. It's basically cheating. So I don't want to spend too much work. If you don't want to spend too much work, and I can say we lack the transparency, so I can just go to the materials and use create transparency. Maybe invert this. Let me first get rid of these. Let's see, do we have anything here? You can see how we are adding some dirt or some rain damage on the walls here, while still retaining the details on the wall as well. And we're not even limited just to this. I can find some say graffiti images. Let's say something I don't know, graffiti, how is it spelled? A nice way to get some free images, you can just go under usage rights and choose Creative Commons license, and that should give you some free images. I think this is nice. This looks nice. So I can save that. and just create a new deco using the quick deco add-on. Let's go to desktop folder 2, and already have some graffiti, but let's get the one we have just downloaded, this here, add it to the scene. But you can see it lacks other transparency, so I just have to go to the material settings and use transparency, and you can see. And if I set other factor here, I can choose the color I want, and I can make this more contrasted. And you have your graffiti, and I can even duplicate this. If you make a duplicate, you have to make this unique, and then I can change. Change the graffiti. So if I can say, this is a quite, I think, intuitive or useful add-on. So you can add details like that, and I can just invert this. Then in a matter of minutes, you can see what we have. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the live stream here. We have done 1 hour and 38 minutes. So yeah. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.